association kind of events, conferences, every one of them tells event planners, you have to learn marketing techniques. You have to learn communication techniques. Your job is content marketing now, right? This is a very different message. Then you go over to the marketing and the communications types of conferences, and they're talking about, hey, are you using events strategically? So I find it interesting because I float between all three of these kind of worlds to say everybody's talking about the same thing, but in different little silos, and they're coming at it from different viewpoints. But something is emerging here, and if we can get ahead of that curve, you know, we would argue at eTouch is that you could really capitalize on that. And so that's what we've set out to do at eTouch, is really empower our clients with our technologies to be able to, whether you're coming from the event side or the marketing side or the communication side, you've got the tools that you need to really be able to use events in a very effective way. So, you know, why are we seeing that? So just again, put a little emphasis on the social media. What social media has done, where people, you know, 5 years ago were scared at virtual events because they thought people therefore would not come to the actual in-person event, that we've seen exactly the opposite, right? So those of us in social marketing who understand kind of population dynamics would always have said, of course that's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Because at the end of the day, we're humans and we want to be face-to-face. Great to make some sort of communications and some sort of inroads with people, but at some point you really can't get to the level of the relationship as you would really like to, or that you could, until you get face-to-face. So we know that that is actually one of the factors for driving up the need for events. Also, people are going more local. They're realizing that having one maybe massive conference a year, that you do the call for papers or the call for speakers a year ahead of time, that two things happen. One, by the time you finally get to that event, the content is outdated, and it's been done by a committee, and it's not cutting edge, and therefore it's not compelling, and it kind of just becomes mediocre at best. And then the second piece of it is that maybe it's too big of a burden for people now to go to one location. And so people are starting to say, why don't we break it out and have more regional conference, go more local? Why don't we try to actually have the tools and techniques to get local and to understand what's happening in certain populations? And again, a drive towards being targeted. Okay, so again, you're seeing another trend going from mass market to really targeted populations where we can deliver some sort of value to them. And that, again, is becoming that emphasis on what, if you haven't heard it called, the SOLOMO, social, local, and mobile, that's creating these little pop-up kinds of events and mini events and breaking apart larger events to have smaller ones. And then those smaller ones they're finding are feeding into actually now creating much larger events at maybe